Hi and welcome. Today we are going to talk about prosperity, success, and I hope you're ready because we are going to learn a lot. Have you noticed that your relationship with success, prosperity goes way beyond the professional choices you make? Well, in systemic work, this is not only about your efforts, your challenge, or the opportunity that actually comes your way. It's more about how you relate to all of those things together, the life itself. In systemic psychologist, in systemic psychology, we understand that every area in our lives is a mirror of our relationships, which builds our foundations. That's why we often say, oh, mother's love, dad's work, and together they build prosperity. Prosperity, it doesn't only means of how much you do, how much effort you do, but it does depends on how much you allow life to flow through you. And this flow actually begins with your parents. So today, I invite you to look to this triad: mother, father, and prosperity as a mirror of your story. Because what we experience on the professional field is really just professional, but it is a visible expression of the invisible emotional history. What do you mean about system language? Well, basically, we say that everything belongs to a system, and every system seeks the balance between love, order, and exchange. So, your professional life is no exception. It is a system in itself, rooted in the family system from which you come from. A mother represents the flow of love that nurture and sustains. She teaches us how to receive care, affection, time, support, and later on money. If love doesn't flow from your mother, the ability to receive becomes limited. The father symbolizes the action, the work. He represents the instruction, the direction, and the courage to go out in this world. If we are disconnected from our father, we may work hard, but without fulfillment and without strength. Together, mother and father, we have the prosperity itself. This is the field that arises between them, those two forces together. The balance between love and action, between receiving and giving. When love from your mom is weak, you may feel underserving your success. When the connection with your father is fragile, you may struggle to take decisive action or maintain the direction. And when both is misaligned, prosperity itself cannot take shape. But not because it's gone, but because its parents is not yet in peace. So this means that our professional blockage are often not laziness, incompetence, or lack of luck, but it means that this is an unspoken loyalty, which is an unconscious way of staying faithful to those family patterns of limitation and sacrifice. So, first, we have systemic awareness, which allow us to see that. So we can choose a new way to belong. One that let us honor our origins without repeating the same pain. So let's look deeper in how our emotional wound actually shapes our life between love, work, and prosperity. We know that every human carries different experiences that create defenses, protective patterns that we build while we are still kids. Those patterns help us to survive that childhood, but in adulthood, they only hold us back. They keep us small. So here are the five main ones. First, rejection. We all fear rejection. We hide. We may avoid visibility or success because being seen feels unsafe. So unconsciously, we reject prosperity before it rejects us. Second, abandonment. When we fear, we over attached to clients, to projects, to recognition. We depend on others to validate our worth, exhausting ourselves in this process. Humiliation. We shrink our dreams, convince ourselves that desiring more is being selfish. We forget the prosperity flows serves other when it flows through us. Betrayal. We simply control everything. Teams, outcomes, people, because trust feels dangerous. Yet, control blocks the spontaneous movements of prosperity. Injustice. We live by rigid rules and ideals, trying to earn worth through perfection. But prosperity doesn't come to those who are perfect, it comes from those who are open. Each of those wounds, it's simply a form of protection of a younger version of us trying to protect the love. But when we meet those inner wounds with compassion and understanding, this energy, once used for defense, becomes available for creation. So, prosperity itself arises when love and work are in harmony. When what we receive from our feminine, our mother, meets what we offer to our masculine, our father. If one of those sides dominates, the whole system suffers. Too much doing without receiving turns into burnout. Too much dreaming without grounding creates frustration. When a person unconsciously excludes or judges their father, we often feel lost in the direction. So we end up working really hard but never see results. When we exclude or carry resentment towards our moms, we may achieve something, but it also feels very empty. Also feels very empty or unworthy of enjoying those achievements. But when we take both, the love from the mom, the strength of the father, yes, you guessed it, prosperity is born because it is simply the fruit of disintegration. Think of prosperity as a love that took shape, love that became visible through your work, your service, your contribution to others. That's why prosperity is not only about money, it's about alignment. When what you do in life actually honors the life you received. I invite you to do a little bit of reflection here with me, okay? Sit comfortable or lay down, whatever you want. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Imagine your father standing in front of you, not as you wanted, but how he truly is. Don't overthink it. Just see him with his story, his struggles, and his own limitations. He gave you something, something precious, the strength to act, to move, to take your place in this world. Feel what happens in your body when you look at him. Is he close? Is his distance? Do you feel gratitude or tension? Whatever it appears, however you feel, that's okay. That's fine. You simply notice it. Now, imagine your mom. just before you. See her not through judgment, but through awareness. She represents the source of life itself, the love that nourishes, the first yes to existence. Observe what you feel. Maybe you long for more warmth, embrace, or maybe you realize how much love already was there, even if it came on imperfect forms. Now, between them, a golden light appears. That light is prosperity itself, born from both, sustained by both, flowing towards you. It's not just wealth, it's the movement, the visibility, the peace. If it makes sense, repeat silence or aloud. I recognize the love and the work that brought me here. I honor what I came before me and I open myself to the new. I receive prosperity itself in the same measure that I receive life. Take one more deep breath. Allow this image to settle gently in your heart. And when you're ready, open your eyes. You can pause this video now, have a moment, a deep breath, and we can continue. Done? Are you back? Are you okay? Good. We learned that to be prosperous is not to accumulate, but it's to mature. It means becoming an adult in front of life. When you take your parents as they are, you will stop fighting what you cannot change. And in this acceptance, you release this energy trapped in resentment and guilt. True prosperity comes to the adult who says, I no longer wait for my parents to give me what they couldn't. I now give to myself what life already gave through them. This is maturity, when love and work meets inside of you. From that inner union, prosperity itself start flowing, start to move effortlessly. This is why, and this is how people attract opportunity with ease, not because they are lucky, but because they are in order. They are internally aligned with the life's flow. So let's put everything together now. We have looked at the inner dynamics, but how do we actually do this out there in the world? Well, in professional life, prosperity is sustained through conscious exchanges, giving and receiving as an equal measure. So ask yourself this now. Do I allow myself to be fairly compensated for what I offer? Do I give with generosity or with the hidden hope that someone is gonna see me and value me? Do I rest when my body asks for pause, or do I confuse exhaustion with value? Take a moment and answer those questions deeply. No cheating. Whatever comes in your heart, however you feel. Pause this video. I'll wait. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, you answered? Great. So for every yes you give to yourself, you strengthen the mother's love within you, the permission to receive. For every decision, you strengthen your father's presence, the capacity to act. But bear in mind, the perspective itself is not built in one day, but it is practiced every day. Consistency is the key. It grows when you align your actions with your truth, when your service comes from authenticity, not from the need to prove yourself. In business, in therapy, in leadership, prosperity appears when there is coherence between inner love and outer action. So, if your path is demanding more than you actually receives, perhaps it's life inviting you to look a little bit deeper. Behind every struggle with money, time, or recognition, there is often a story of love waiting to be seen. Again, mother is love, father is work, that together prosperity blooms. So when love and work meet within you, prosperity stops being the goal and becomes a natural state. Because in the end, the greatest wealth we have is the peace, the quiet certainty that your heart, your purpose, and your life are finally moving in the same direction. Moving in the same direction. Hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, let me know. See you until our next video.